Today we're going to talk about a hogback. It's very close to the Valles Caldera National Preserve, which is part of Los Alamos, the national laboratory where they make nuclear weapons. And here's the volcano, which I don't think is a volcano. Who would have thought? But we're not going to be talking about the big picture there. We're going to be talking about an epiphany I had where I learned that I'm an idiot not that long ago. It's really great if you're making mistakes to figure that out as soon as possible. So I'm not too upset about the fact that I was an idiot. There's been clues all along. Anyway, we're at a place here called Cuba, New Mexico. No revolutions. And there's a highway that runs up here. Came through here with Andreas Ote and Mel Atchison and Scott Wall, a few other people at different times, Dr. Scott Wall. And hold on, let me go to a different image real quick. This is a hogback right along here that you drive right through. There's a road cut that goes through it. Otherwise, you'd have to go over it. And road cuts are priceless. They're very educational. And up until the day that I took the first image that you're about to see, I thought that mountains were dunes growing with the direction of the wind, because in many cases geologists referred to them as dunes that grew with the wind. And then they experienced diagenesis and this and that. So they looked like dunes. They had a water line where you could see where there was a flood while it was growing from external material. And I had geologists claiming they're dunes. So I kind of put blinders on, and I saw them growing with the wind, with the dust bouncing up the windward side and then going down the slip face and growing that way. And I convinced a lot of other really smart people that this was the process, growing with the wind. And then we stumbled on this place. I'll show you a photograph now. This is the road cut. It's got either coal or shale in here. We always take samples and never have them analyzed. I should say. I shouldn't blame the others. Here's the road. And these are really vertical. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, sand wouldn't make vertical layers. It can't work. I think it's 40 degrees or 35 degrees. If it's damp, it can hold a little bit more of an angle before you get a landslide. But it can't hold 90 degrees. And there's another image that goes with this. It's even more interesting. It looks to me like this is trending back towards the right. It looks as if this has been spackled by material that was either wet and able to set up quickly, like cement, like quick drying cement or spackle, or molten, and it would stick, and then it could hold a very, very steep angle because it might cool off very quickly or it might set up very quickly. In this case, this looks more liquid than the previous shot. So it hit me that when you read Worlds in Collision, it's not just dust, sand, gravel, rocks, and boulder falling from the sky, but it's all of these things during a hurricane. So there's water available. It's going to be wet, not dry. And it's going to be conglomerate, not sand. And sometimes it's going to be molten, according to the descriptions from the survivors. So now you have to look at everything fresh. And now it's not going to grow with the wind. It's going to grow into the wind, back and up into the wind, with the windward side growing. It's completely different than what I thought. I was wrong by 180 degrees only. So this changed everything, and it made everything so much less complicated, because when I thought they were dunes, there had to be a post process where things were melted and shifted and squeezed, and I came up with the term shrink wrapped to explain this major change that would have to take place on all of these dunes. It was complicated. Once it's growing into the wind, which is basically the welded tuff process that geologists use for volcanic material. And sometimes the volcanic material the geologists have being red hot is 30, 40, 60 miles from the volcano and it's still red hot, which doesn't make any sense. It would cool off almost instantaneously once it gets in the air. You can see that at night. So this made everything simple, and it showed me how wrong I am. And it was kind of joyous admitting it before anybody else could catch my mistake. It was like I got away with it. Nobody grabbed me by the toe and shook it. I got away with it. So, mountains aren't dunes. They're the welded tough process with all different material that's available through comet dust. I was an idiot. I've seen the light, I guess, sort of. Thank you.